Hi there, it's Liz Yule from Old Stables Crafts again. Thank you for joining me today. I've got what will, for the other version, will be another celebration video for you, just so that we can make sure that everyone is, up to speed with what's happening with celebration. This is using the Falling in Love designer series paper and the narrow, very vanilla double-sided satin ribbon. And then the tag, which I'm going to be using the same set for the tag, is from the That's the Tag stamp set. And with the matching thinlets, and you can get that as a bundle, so you save 10% if you use the bundle code. So you get the tags and the dies for a bundle price, which is always good to know. Save 10%, why not? And that comes to £33.25. So still leaves you a little bit of money left to get some other bits, and then get up to your £45 for celebration. Now, one of the other tags that's available in there is this, which I have pieced. It's like a little daisy, and I've pieced some of the celebration glimmer paper into it. I have got another video which shows how I do the piecing. If you have a look back through the videos, you'll find that. I say back, I think it's going to be back. It may be forward, but there is one that I've recorded recently, and it's just when I schedule them. But basically, all I did was cut the die 4 times in the Blushing Bride, and then Sweet Sugar Plum, Bermuda Bay and Mint Macaron glimmer papers, and then just pieced it all together, having put some glue behind. It's fiddly, but a really easy technique, really. And that's just on the back of the tag. And what I must do is punch a hole. But that's the glimmer papers. Now, in the US, these have sold out. I can't see that they're going to hang around in Europe for much longer, but just be aware. The other thing I'll come to actually is that there are some new items that have been added to the celebration free list, but I will talk to you about those as we are doing this. So this is the tag set and the thinlets. I have pre-cut my tag for this, which I'm this time doing on Very Vanilla and Peekaboo Peach. And let me just show you this, and you will then see why this is possibly the wrong item in here. Because I had 2 hand creams that I was going to use. This one and this one. And this was supposed to be for this box. But, such is life. So I've now got that in this box, and I shall make the new one. So, scoreboard. Make sure you can see the top. This is the Inside the Lines paper, which is one of the free items in Celebration. It was in the first release. This is cut at 6.5 inches square. I tried to get it at 6 by 6, but it wouldn't fit my hand creams. But if you've got something a bit smaller, then you could obviously do it at 6 by 6, and then you would do, well, you'd do different measurements. So hey, there we go. Anyway, so for this, I'm going to have the pattern running this way because I'm going to make it so that the box is that way. And it just, for me, makes more sense that the lines go across rather than round, because they won't match up going round, so they might as well go across. So, for this, I am going to score at 1, and I'm using the thicker ball because this is designer series paper, so I'm scoring at 1 inch, 2 3/4 inches. All these measurements, including the metric, will be on my associated blog post link below. But so 2 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5 1/2. Is that right? Yes, 5 1/2. Yes. Had a moment there. Then turn it through 90 degrees and score at 1 inch and 5 1/2 inches. Now the final box will measure 4 1/2 by 1 3/4 by 1 inch, and as I say, I'll have the metric measurements on the associated blog post. So what I was going to say, and I'll do this while I'm burnishing these score lines, is that the new items that have been added are items that are actually available in the both annual and spring-summer catalogue. You can now get them as free celebration items, and it includes 3 designer series papers. I want to say Oh So Succulent, Party Animal, and the specialty sweet treats, amongst other things. I can't remember everything else, I'm afraid. However, big however, you must use the special code, not the standard item number. So I will try and remember to link that. I've done a blog post about it. I will try and remember to link that below, because if you use the standard catalogue number, you'll get charged. Right, so we have scored all of those. We're now going to cut up, and you'll see, can you see? Can you see? Yes, so there's squares and there are rectangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wedge the squares and leave the rectangles whole. So wedge the square and wedge and leave the rectangle whole, like that. So this is a rectangle, so I will leave that whole. Now obviously the designer series paper you can colour in, and I have seen some lovely effects that people have done, either colouring the whole thing or just colouring in a little bit to highlight. Indeed I have posted some items on that myself, but equally you can leave it as black and white. Actually I didn't trim that quite right. Let's try that again, there we go. And then wedge. So my challenge on this video, and this is going to be a famous last words, the last video I recorded went on forever. Even my camera got bored and stopped halfway through. So I'm going to try and keep this one reasonably quick. Who knows? Anyway, so remember, celebration finishes on the 31st of March. Personally, I would get your order in sooner rather than later, because as I say, in the US, things have already sold out. The tin has gone and the glimmer paper. In the UK, at the point when I'm recording this, there are no items out of stock, but that's not to say that by the time this goes live, that will be the case. That's not trimmed well. So yeah, although it finishes on the 31st of March, I would seriously make sure you get your orders in before then. So you just need to choose how you're going to have this close, and I think I'm going to have it that way. The other option would be to have it that way, but I think I want more pattern showing than less. So this is going to be my front. So just so that I remember that, I'm going to bring in my half-inch punch, circle punch, and just do a little punch out so that there's a little lip. And that means that I will then remember that that's the front. So because this is paper, we can use snail. So I'm now going to put snail on all of the squares, and then we will build the box. I'll go that way. My recommendation, if you really do want to live dangerously and leave your celebration order until the 31st of March, is that you should get your order in by 10 o'clock UK time in the evening. Now the clocks are changing between now and then, and the normal cut-off point, I'm not sure whether that's going to be in GMT or British summertime, which is why I'm saying put your order in before 10 o'clock and then you'll be safe, assuming the item is still in stock. Right, so we're going to fold back, this is our lip, so we're going to fold that back and line that up, and fold this back and line it up. And then we're not going to stick this to the front, we're going to stick it to the back. So, in fact, I'm going to do it this way because it will be easier for me to do. And I'm all for an easy life. And then this, preferably without sticking it to, fortunately using snail, you do have a little bit of forgiving. It will come unstuck for a while after you've stuck it together. Right, so there we are, and that then folds, or it would if you put it together properly, which I have, just haven't folded it together properly. So there we are, that's our little box. As I say, you could even, before you fold it together, colour in some bits. So, having learnt the hard way, I'm now going to put my hand cream in, and I know it's the right one. Then I'm bringing in more Celebration, not the twine, but this. So this is the Celebration ribbon, which comes as a duo. This is the white with silver, but it comes with very vanilla and gold as well. So I'm just going to, wrap this round. I'm actually only going to do it once on this one. I did it twice on the other, but I'll do it once on this just for speed. And actually also for speed, I will tie it in a knot, because anyone who does any of these sort of things live will know that whilst you can tie a bow in the privacy of your own home with no problem at all, the moment you put a camera on or have somebody else watch you, you become all fingers and thumbs and it doesn't work. So I'm not even going to try. So there we are, a knot. Let's just trim that down. There we are. And then, just to bring in some colour, because otherwise this is very black and white, I have already cut in Whisper White and Peekaboo Peach, I already said, the Starburst. I am going to stick that on before I do the stamping, because I find it easier to do it that way round. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Tombow. You could use the fine tip glue pen, but if you can't tie a bow on camera, trust me, getting the nib back into the fine tip glue pen on camera is impossible. So I'm not even going to try, particularly as I do seem to have very shaky hands this morning. So there we go, just pop that down, pop that away. While that is setting a bit, I'm going to do, you may have seen this trick before, if you've got your twine on a card, run it through like you would curl ribbon, just run it right down your bone folder and it becomes curly rather than kinked. And at least then you don't have obvious little kinks. So, for the stamping, I had mounted up, oh yes, there we are. From this, I'm just using the For You. On the original, I used Happy Birthday and this little floral, but for the sake of speed, let's just go For You. And I know that this stamps nicely, otherwise I would put the piercing mat behind, but I know that this is a full pad of grid paper, so I'm reasonably happy that it was going to stamp, and indeed it has. So then just tie that round a box. You could, if you're putting it all together, not on camera, not in a rush, you could loop that through your knot so that it doesn't slide around, but as I say, for speed. There we go. So that's that. This was the original, obviously with ribbon round, and let's just bring in the tag, and I'll retie that for the photos. So there you are. 2 Celebration items, 2 not. Don't miss out. Did I mention I'm still doing my 500 subscriber giveaway? To enter that, you need to leave a comment on the 500 subscriber YouTube video, which I will link below, and the associated blog post. That will give you 2 entries. You can do one or other. And if you go to the YouTube video, there'll be the link to the blog post below that. Also, if you place an order in my online store, for every £20 of that order, you get another entry, which means that if you're going for a Celebration item, you get 2 additional entries if you order on my online store. So why not? There we go. I hope you enjoyed that. Slightly shorter than the last video I recorded today. So if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, which is my face at the end of this video. I've already got, at the point of recording this, 530 subscribers now, which is great. And there will be another giveaway when I get to 750. So still worth subscribing. But also, why not enter the draw? Hope to see you soon, and please don't miss out on the end of celebration. See you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.